This is gonna be another one of those rants turned life tips kind of thing because that's kind of what I do. Is that a good enough reason? Hi loves. Today I just want to talk about being assertive. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I'm working now and I was like, okay, I'm gonna order my mom some flowers for the first time. And they came today. My mom tells me they came and she's like so happy, and I look at them and I'm like, this isn't what I ordered. Let me tell you, these flowers did not look anything like how they were advertised. I will even post a picture somewhere, here. Just take a look at these. I know I didn't take the most flattering picture of them, but one, I'm not in the business of trying to make them look better than they are. And two, I mean, come on, there's a huge difference between these two pictures that camera quality can't fix or erase or hide. So I decided to call customer service and they were really polite and everything. Within a minute I got my refund. They were all apologies. So kudos to them for having good customer service, but just because you have excellent customer service does not excuse the fact that you have poor service in general. That brings me to my topic, because as unsatisfied as I was, a year ago I would have let that slide. I would have been like, oh, it's the thought that counts, whatever, I still got my flowers, that's all that matters. But no, I think it's college, it's made me a little more assertive and I was not having it. So today I just want to tell you to be assertive. I feel like being assertive can definitely boost your confidence and self-esteem and reduce stress. Why should you say yes to someone, no matter how close you are, if you don't really want to do something? Why should you be afraid to send back broken or damaged goods or anything that you got that wasn't as you expected? Why should you be afraid to tell them that they're not doing a good job and you want a refund? Like, I used to never want to send back food in restaurants because I thought that they would spit in my food or something or get mad, but it's their job to provide you with a service, and if they're not providing you with that service, you have every right to tell them and call them out on that. It's not selfish or pushy to ask for what you want. It's not mean or inconsiderate to say no. And even though you may sound like a broken record, get your point across. Even if you have to say it 1,000 times, if they're not understanding what you're saying, you need to keep telling them over and over again that you're not happy, you're not satisfied, and you want them to do something about it. Okay, so here comes the inner psych major, but don't get in the habit of learned helplessness. Like, you have control over the situation, or at least partial control. Don't resent people for trying to manipulate you. Call them out on their shit, but also keep your temper and your voice down. Anger and aggression are not the same thing as assertive. You can assert yourself without being aggressive, rude, or inconsiderate. If there's something you don't like or aren't comfortable with, say something. If there's something you want, assert yourself and go get it. Assert yourself with your body language. Look the person in the eye. Don't make it seem like you're cowering and afraid of what they're gonna say. Assert yourself with your thoughts. Don't feel guilty for going after what you want or saying no. Assertiveness is a healthy way of communicating. Like, honestly, if you just think about it, the other options are all like poo. If you're not assertive, you're either passive-aggressive, and that doesn't get you anywhere. Passive-aggressive people, you know how bad they are. When they don't say anything, but they make it known through their actions, it's like, come on now. I understand, like, that's your way of dealing with your problems, and that's okay, but wouldn't it be easier to just communicate how you're feeling verbally instead of acting some type of way? If you're passive, you're just letting people walk all over you. You don't get walked over when you're too nice. You get walked over when you're too passive, when you're too submissive, when you let people walk all over you. It has nothing to do with being nice. And aggression, being aggressive is just, no one's gonna listen to what you say because it's just anger. And aggressive people are just rude, obnoxious. You don't even want to listen to them. So I'll admit, I used to be really submissive. I used to avoid conflict. If someone wanted me to do something, I would do it, and then somehow rationalize to myself that I'm just being nice, when really I was letting myself be a doormat. You can't let the elephant stay in the room. I realized that bottling up all of my emotions and angers, it wasn't good, and it wasn't a healthy way to have any kind of relationship. Being assertive is more about standing up for yourself in a respectful way that doesn't escalate situations. And being assertive is not the easiest thing to do, because when you're under stress or you're put in one of those situations, it's like fight or flight. And fight is being aggressive. Flight is just like booking it the other way, running for the hills, trying to keep peace. And neither one of those are the best options most of the time. But you have the right to set your own priorities. You have the right to go after the things you want. You have the right to say no. You have the right to express how you're feeling without the other person getting all angry or upset. As long as you're doing it in a polite polite and respectful manner, go for it, you know? Don't worry about always pleasing others, because in this life you can't always please others, and either way those other people aren't going to be with you till the end. You have you to worry about. In the end, it's can you live with the decisions you make? Can you say that you stuck up for yourself? Because all those other people who you tried to please, they're going to be in your past like years back, and you're going to be like, wow, did I really let myself be a doormat for that person who's not even in my life anymore? And assertive doesn't mean that you can always get what you want, but it does mean that you're more likely to come to some kind of compromise. Like, I understand it's an emotional risk, or it might be different from what you're comfortable with and used to, but in the end you'll most likely not regret it, and you should never regret being assertive in the first place. It's important to let people know what matters to you and how you're feeling without violating their rights as a human being. Don't yell at people. State what you want, state how you feel. I feel like being assertive is just an all-around good skill to have, and you know what, it's not a quality. If you're not assertive now, that's not saying you never can be. You can. Like, it's a skill. You don't become assertive overnight. Kudos to all the people who have always been assertive. For others, it doesn't come easy, and I understand that, because for me it doesn't come easy, but that doesn't mean that you have to let yourself be walked all over. Or if you're on the other side of that spectrum and you're too aggressive when you respond to people, learn to just tone it down a bit. If you realize having a calm voice and being polite and respectful, that's disarming to people. When you're coming at them for something that they did wrong and you're calm, cool, and collected, they're like, what? Like, that confuses people, I promise you. So I hope you choose to be assertive. This was a totally out of the blue video, so I hope it doesn't completely suck, and sorry about the lighting because I'm home and the lighting here sucks if it's not natural lighting. So there's that. I'm in my watermelon room. It's nice and pink. So I think that's all I have to say about that. I think if there's anything I missed, I will just put it down in the description. And yeah. All right, I'm gonna see you guys later. Hope you have an awesomely fantastic day. Bye guys.